Thank God. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this Gita Gyan program. And welcome Devi Rani Mataji, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Kripashini Reho. Thank you. Istkanda Balan Prabhu, CS Prabhu, Chuang Prabhu, Vanita Mataji, Alinda Ho Mataji, and Sadguna Mataji. All welcome. So today we are on a grand finale of this Gita Gyan program. Today is 21st August 2024. We just was on time because we're supposed to finish on 21st and exactly we did it on time. Okay. So this is the first time I did this program twice a day, morning session and evening session. And I really had truly a wonderful moment, 17 days. And I felt some kind of emptiness when I was just wondering if the thing finished, how will it feel? While I was thinking that then Iskandar Palan Prabhu sent a message, so the loneliness will come in, I was thinking, wow, did I think too loud until he hurt me or what? All right. So it's a wonderful day. And it's a very auspicious day, especially chapter 18. It's a very powerful chapter. All right. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer that we invoke blessings from Srila Prabhupada and all the previous Acharya. So with their costless mercy, that we could understand this chapter 18 and also the entire 18 chapters. All right. So let's do this invocation prayer together. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Parantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Parakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakan Vidam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Tinamine Namacharya Padaya Nittai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasashiristarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody, let's chant together 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, welcome everyone. So, Hare Krishna. So, today we are at the final stage, the perfection of renunciation. Okay. So, that's a final grand finale of this batch 1 2024 Gita Gyan program. And for everyone's info, I think you all have seen it. Gita Gyan is actually divided into 2, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is mild and part 2 a little bit deep, and part 3 is very deep. So what I did, I went and add everything together and make it a single part, right? So that means there's no part 1, part 2, part 3, but in everything that you should know that we discuss here. And the method that I followed here is like how I do my Bhakti Sastri, right? That means detailed studies. Because sometimes when we finish up the book, it's not possible, or maybe it's going to be not sure after how long you're going to go back to that book. So in one sitting itself, do a perfect reading, right? Do it perfectly. Study very nicely, all right? So that was the idea. And back of my heart, back of my mind, I was just wondering, did I go very deep? Did I go very heavy? Because the message is so heavy and all these things. But of course, the feedback shows that it is such a, it was acceptable actually. Okay, we presented in such a way which is acceptable and digestible. Okay, it's digestible, right? So we have already passed through 17 days, all right? 17 days of learning, of studying deep studies. So today we're going to start the 18th day. Before we start, is there anyone who would like to share some feedback or some, what they call, some reflection or any changes that happen in your life? Yeah. Yes, Mataji, Manita Mataji.
Prabhu, this 18 days has quenched my thirst to the extent where after this, when I don't have the classes and life will be lonely and it's a individual struggle, it has quenched the thirst enough to given me a taste of the nectar enough for me to know for sure that we will make efforts and prevail.
Very
Thank
good.
you very much, Prabhu.
That's very inspiring, Mataji. That's very, you're always my inspiration. You know, if it's not because of you, the day one when we did this program on February 2021, definitely I don't think so that I will evolve to this level. Okay. Vanita Mataji was one of my pioneer student participant. And she introduced a friend who is a head mistress after she heard the first day class, and she was so excited. And in fact, I was like not really prepared to give class. Okay, suddenly they asked me to give class. I said, come on, I myself didn't study properly how to give class. So somehow or other that Shanti Rupa Mataji, they all forced me to do it. And eventually I did it. And that Mataji was at a big transformation happened on the first day itself. And the whole day she was thinking about it. And unfortunately, she left the body that night. Then Vanita Mataji gave a very good testimony about what happened. You know, her name is Leela, right, Mataji? Vanita Mataji?
Rupa Devi.
Not Leela.
Leela is another person. Leela also joined. This time she couldn't join.
No. Initial, the first class. I mean, the one
Yeah,
passed away was
Rupa Devi.
Oh, okay.
Rupa Devi also is a headmistress. Laila Pati also is a
Pati.
top teacher in the nursing school.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was also a very good, fantastic book distributor. She distributed a big sum of books. So it's like that. So thank you. Anybody else like to share any feedback, any realization, any transformation?
Prabhu, I'm extremely grateful to Krishna and to you. I don't know, this is just the beginning for me, and I never imagined I'll be having such a beginning, especially with you guiding us through, just like exactly like what Vanita Mataji said, to have the taste of this wonderful nectar and to carry on from here, Prabhu. I am so grateful. Thank you so much, Prabhu, and to everyone. There are few people who always join every single day, and they've been so inspiring. And like you said, each and every one of them in this class have been a great inspiration for me to continue reading the Bhagavad Gita and to know the absolute truth. So thank you all very, very much. I feel extremely sad leaving, but at the same time, I feel like I've got the knowledge and the strength for me to finish up my final year and to probably become the best in what I do, but with all the learnings that I get from Bhagavad Gita itself. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Very well. You can be a doctor that can change people's life, right?
That's so true, Prabhu. I'm actually waiting when the time comes. Even to my friends, I've just shared the video to some of my friends. So I can't wait for them to actually see. Hopefully, get some positive message from them also.
Right. Very nice. So like Krupashini, she's a medical student and doing a final year. And in fact, it is also applicable to the students. That means this program is applicable to the students, to professionals, to corporate and all these things, right? So she's a proof that even a student can grasp and practice Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Anyone else? Just one more person?
Prabhu, I told you earlier that I was an average student. And I can only ditto what upcoming doctor said. You know, ditto means the clever student say the correct answer. So when the teacher asks the average student, what is the answer? That student will say ditto. That means, ditto means the 2 marks to repeat the clever student answer. But jokes aside, Prabhu, I think when you squeeze the 3 levels into one, you save a lot of time, because I find that the 18 days was really, you need discipline and focus, and sometimes the stamina is not there. So squeezing all the relevant and important information into the shortest time possible, I really appreciate that, Prabhu, because we all have our own things to do. So I just am very thankful for that, and of course, like I say, the student is none the wiser without the teacher. So it is because of your abilities, your sincerity and generosity that we all benefit so much, Prabhu. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. You are very inspiring to me. Some argued with me. They said people cannot concentrate more than 45 minutes. You cannot do things more than 45 minutes. Then I was thinking, when people can sit and watch a movie for 2.5 hours, why not they can listen to a Bhagavad Gita for 2 hours? Then I was just thinking and I was meditating how the movie happens. That means we have drama, we have sound system, we have high pitch, low pitch, right? Then we go into this sadness, romance. So all these things are there, they combine, that people, that means it's a sudden trigger, they could watch 2.5 hours movie. Why not listen to this? So I tried it. Okay, that was I tried it here because in fact in my Forex classes also, the classes will be 4 hours. And of course, we will have to like create analogy and a lot of excitement, a lot of, thriller and all this. And I was just thinking, I was just hoping for someone to tell me, Prabhu, I think 2 hours is too much. But nobody said that, So that was very nice. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So there is no such thing as a premier student or weak student or what. We all understand the Bhagavad Gita according to our nature. Okay, that's what Krishna asks us to do. First, he said that we are individual soul. Okay, Jiva, and we have our own identity, and we cannot actually generalize ourselves. Okay, when someone can do it, I cannot. It's not that way. Everything is happened according to our own capacity, and if at all we can tap into that personal capacity that given to us by default, we can be successful in our own way. All right, like I've there's lots of great devotees, especially when we look at this history, great acharyas. They all had different way of doing it. All right, like this. What just came and slipped my mind. What the guy's name? He got the realization through the prostitute. What's the name, Prabhu? Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. I think I spoke about it few classes before. Bilva Mangal Thakur. Okay. So he got that inspiration, right? There was such a big rain and he tried to cross a very dangerous river because he was so high that he wanted to go and see her. It's such an addiction. So he just rushed and go and see her, and the prophet just told him and said, if you do this in this kind of love to Krishna, you could be someone. So that would actually trigger him. Okay. So bhakti is very personal. Okay, and we understand according to our own nature. So yesterday we passed through chapter 17, and that chapter 17 we spoke on the modes of material nature, that is the division of faith, what type of faith and it is good and everything. Okay, but now we are coming to the conclusion. The conclusion is the perfection of renunciation. Okay, now after that chapter 12, which is supposed to be the confidential knowledge, From chapter 13 onwards, we start to study about nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. What is the nature? Prakriti. Who is that enjoyer? Purusha. And what is the consciousness? Then we went into 3 modes of material nature. Okay. The mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Just like this. Whether we are in a mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, we are still situated in this material world. Okay. 2 days ago, I was listening to one lecture, and the way that analogy that that devotee gave was fantastic. Example, we all taking a flight. All right. Some who can afford, they take business class. They pay more, better facility, better comfort. And a slightly lower than that, people who cannot afford business, but they can afford maybe first class. And others who really can afford, they can go into economy class. 3 of them are in a same plane, flying to a same destination. But the comfort is there according to the class. Business class, first class, and economy class. So like that, we are all living in this world, in this material world. We are having that same kind of pain and pleasure. Every one of us go through the same kind of environment. Okay, now yesterday was rain, and this morning was extremely cold, and today was a scorching heat. So everybody in whatever mode, they still go through that situation. All right. So these 3 modes of material nature, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance, it is all still situated in this material world in a conditioned stage. Conditioned state. That means we are still conditioned. So here in this chapter 18, Krishna is going to reveal to you how we can come out of it and how to do it systematically. All right. So now let's look at that, the summary of chapter 18. Okay, now ISKCON Malaysia, with collaboration of ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center, we are proudly present Gita Gyan, Essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. Let's take darshan from this beautiful deity. Whenever we chant Hare Krishna, okay, whenever we chant Hare Krishna, how we can concentrate if we are looking at the deity? When we chant Hare Krishna, pay attention to the lotus feet. Okay, you look at the lotus feet and just say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then, when you come to Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, look at the hip, the Tripanga, the hip. All right. Hare Rama, look at the chest of the Lord. And Rama Rama, Hare Hare, look at the face. So like that, when you chant, you can have a better concentration. Okay. So whenever you chant, that means you don't look around, just look at the photo of Krishna. You just look at the feet and just say Hare Krishna, hip, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, chest, Hare Rama, face, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even you do Kirtan. When you do Kirtan, absorb your mind into the beautiful form of the deity and look accordingly. All right. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I'm so grateful. And I believe that you are also so grateful that he presented this Gita in such a wonderful way, scientific, in a very understandable and very philosophical English, that even a great scholar could accept this subject. Okay, we are so grateful to him. And also this program was inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. He is a GBC and also spiritual master. And I would like to offer my Dandavat and also my Pranam to His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON Shishadipuram, all right, creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita program worldwide. I was trying to create a program called Bhagavatam Gyan. All right, this is Gita. So I thought of creating another program called Bhagavatam. I was thinking, how can I simplify the Bhagavatam? That means what we do, we study 1 chapter a day. Thinking about that, then I go through the thing. It takes a fine-tuned genius to do that. Okay, so I'm not fine-tuned. I'm struggling. Anyway, it all depends on Krishna whether he wants me to do it or not. But to come out with this idea, to come out with the slide, the color of the slide, all right, which is pleasant to the eyes, the choice of the words, the font, right? And the important verses, technically, right? Systematically, it takes a genius to do that. Okay, and through his such a dedication, this Gita Gyan program has created a worldwide impact. I have also encouraged my very close friend, dear friend from Myanmar, Rashi Shekhar Prabhu. I told him to try this out, and he have also tried out by translating his Gita Gyan into Myanmar, Burmese language, and he's doing. And of course, now we have taken up this Think Gita program by Bhakti Keshava Swami. So this program, in fact, once we were having a meeting, international meeting, with this one of the Minister of Book Distribution worldwide, His Grace Vaishi Shekhar Prabhu. And during that time also, I did say, if at all we can make Gita Gyan as a standard program, we can churn out so many devotees, we can create so many books, book distributors, and we can make so much of books to go to individual. All right. So I'm that convinced, and today it's proven again. This one program really works, and I offer my obeisances to him with gratitude. Okay, let's look at this understanding the Gita. This is very interesting. Okay. The forgetful living entities. The forgetful living entities. Okay, is also called as conditioned souls. So now you understand, when you see the term conditioned soul in Bhagavad Gita, means the forgetful living entities, or the living entities who are suffering from amnesia. Right? Remember the day we discussed about amnesia, right? Have forgotten their, what happened to them? Forgotten their relationship. They have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. And they are engrossed in thinking of material activities. Sorry. So they are so engrossed thinking of material activities. Just to transfer their thinking power. Let me just to transfer what? Their thinking power to the spiritual sky. Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa or Vyasadeva has given a great number of Vedic literature. Okay, he has given so much of Vedic literature. Number one, first he started to divide the Vedas into four. He divided into four. All right. Then he explained them in Puranas. All right. And for less capable people, that means the people who don't have much intelligence to study Vedas, he created and he wrote this thing called Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a book that people just read like a story book. Okay, start from there, what happened, from the day that Bhishma was born, and everything, all the conflict, everything sounds like, it's like an ancient history story. Okay, Mahabharata. And you know what he did? Systematically, in Mahabharata, is slot in Bhagavad Gita in Bhishma Parva. In between, he's put in a Bhagavad Gita. So while people's reading Mahabharata, they will stumble into Bhagavad Gita. All right, so that was the idea. Then all Vedic literature, then all Vedic literature, okay, now all Vedic literature is summarized. That means all the four Vedas and the Puranas, everything summarized in the thing called Vedanta Sutra. Okay. And for the future guidance, he gave a natural commentation. Okay. He gave a commentation of Vedanta Sutra. That means he wrote Vedanta Sutra, then he commented on it, or purport. Okay. And that is called Srimad Bhagavatam. So we must always engage our mind. We must always engage our mind in reading. We should always engage our mind reading this Vedic literature. We have to engage our mind reading this Vedic literature, just as how materialists engage their mind reading newspaper, magazine, and so many materialistic literature. We must transfer our reading to this literature that are given by Vyasadeva. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. Okay. This is the only way suggested. This is the only way suggested by the Lord, and he guarantees the result. There's no doubt. All right. So that is what this thing. So how he guarantees, how he promises, we will see in this chapter. Okay. Now let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya. what it says. Jayate satatam sakyam sarva jiva ganai saha prarabdam hunjato vapi gita vyasa ratasyacha. It says a person who is devoted in studying the Gita, that means devoted, okay, acquires a friendly disposition. They will acquire a friendly disposition to all living beings, despite his accruing the reaction of his previous action in this world. So that means when a person starts to devotedly studying Bhagavad Gita, he somehow or other will become very friendly to everyone. He will have a very friendly disposition. Right? We are all part of this nature. Sometimes when you go near someone, you could feel some kind of evilness, some kind of this thing. Even sometimes you can even sense it. This person are not genuine. He's trying to take me for a ride. Yes. But when we start to study Bhagavad Gita, we create a friendly disposition. Okay, even though that we may have a reaction of his previous action, that means we might have been going through this kind of what they call. We might be nasty before. We could be anything, but this Bhagavad Gita will purify us. Example like hippies. When you see the hippies, after when they take up Bhagavad Gita and chanting, their disposition has totally changed. And they become so likable, even despite being a former hippie. All right? So that's the... Okay, let's look at chapter 18. Conclusion of perfection, part of renunciation. Perfection of renunciation. Not part 1, it's just that thing. Okay? So let's look at 18.1. Arjuna vacha sanyasasya mahabahu tattvam ichchami veditum Tyagasya charishikesha prattakeshi nishudana. This is going to be very interesting. Arjuna said, "Oh mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, Sannyasa." Okay, oh, killer of the Kesi demon, master of the senses. So that means now Krishna wanted to know, what is the difference? Okay, Tyaga, renunciation. That means purpose of renounce. What is the purpose of renouncing? Which is called Tyaga. And or the renounced order of life, which is called Sannyasa. So Arjuna asked this a very valid question. And to this, Krishna explained. Okay, he explained. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Pala Tyagam Prahus Tyagam Vichakshanaha. Sarva Karma, all types of karma, Pala. And Pala means what? Palangal. The fruit, Tyagam. Okay. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, giving up all activities. That means giving up activities that are based on material desire. Okay. Giving up the activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call as renounced order of life, which is called sannyasa. Okay. That means what? The one who gives up all kinds of material activity. Giving up activities that are based on material desire. Right? I got a desire of this, I got a desire of that. Just that. The educated people called it as a renounced order of sannyasa. And now, secondly, giving up results of the activities is which is based, okay, giving up the results of activities. Okay, giving up the result of activities, the wise call it as renunciation, Tyaga. Right? So this is renounced, this is renunciation. In other words, now you see, giving up activities is called sannyasa. Giving up result of the activities, we call it as Tyaga. So far, so good? Can you see the difference? Right? Giving up all material activities, sannyasa. But giving up the result, I do my job, but I don't expect anything, is called Tyaga. All right? So now, 18.5, Krishna's opinion. Yagna dana tapa karma. Yagna dana tapa karma. Natyajam karma karyam evatat. Yagno danam tapaschaiva. Pavanani manishinam. Yagna dana tapa karma. natyajyam karyam eva tat, yagno danam tapaschaiva, pavanani manishinam. Act of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. Okay. So Krishna says here, acts, that means activity of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. Not to be given up. Okay. They must be performed. Okay. The sacrifice. Now what is the sacrifice? The chanting of the holy name is a sacrifice for Kali Yuga. Charity, propagating Krishna consciousness, distributing Bhagavad Gita. All right. It's charity. Penance is, of course, you are performing bhakti, performance of bhakti. Okay. It's not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, the sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even a great soul. Right? Even these will purify all the great souls. Okay? So far, so good? Now,
Prabhu, Hani,
yes,
explain the penances again. Based
sure.
on because charity is based on this
Yeah,
what
this
you call?
penance will discuss.
Yeah.
The penance will discuss.
Oh,
So what he's saying is sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. Shouldn't give up. Okay?
okay.
Then they must be performed because this thing even purify even a great soul. So what is sacrifice, charity, penance? We will see the following slides. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, let's look at renunciation. Okay, what is a renunciation? The renunciation in the mode of goodness. Okay, what is a characteristic? Performing prescribed duty because it is ought to be done. That means you're doing a job because it has to be done. Renouncing all material association and all attachment to the fruit. That means renouncing all material association. That means that you don't have any material association and all attachment to the fruit is the renunciation in mode of goodness. Renunciation in mode of passion. How? Giving up prescribed duty as troublesome and out of fear of bodily comfort. Okay. Example, I've got a duty of being a doctor. I need to go and save life. But I know Saturday night, oh, we're going to have a lot of accident, a lot of cases will come in. So you just try to give some excuse not to go to the hospital. Or just like the soldier, they are destined to go to this one particular country, right? They say, oh, no. Then suddenly they evolve, okay, above the wall, right? They just chabulari. So these are the things which is the renunciation mode of passion. That means giving up prescribed duty as troublesome and out of fear of bodily discomfort. And renunciation in ignorance. What does that mean? Giving up is prescribed duty due to illusion, right? That means I know if I go, I got a lot of things, problem and receive. So what happened? I give up all this by illusion. That means just by going on sleeping, not doing my job. All right? Okay. Now, let's look at 12. Anishtam ishtam mishrang cha. No. Anishtam ishtam mishrang cha. Trividam karmana palam. Bhavati atyaginam pretya. Natu sanyasinam kvachit. And it says, one who is not renounced the threefold fruits of action. Okay, one who is not renounced. What? The threefold fruits of action, the three types of fruits of action. That is desirable, undesirable, and mixed. Accrue after death. It will follow you after death. But those who are in renounced order of life have no such result to suffer and enjoy. So here Krishna says that there's a three types of threefold fruits. One is desirable, undesirable, and mixed. It accrue after death. So we get a body according to the desire. Do you remember that? Do you all understand? That means, in other words, we are... Yes, Mataji, Manita Mataji, you want to say something?
Prabhu, can one have attachment to the act of goodness?
Yeah, we are coming there. That's also one of the points today. Yeah, coming soon. Right. So he said, one who is not renounced the three fruits of action. Okay, first desirable, undesirable, and mixed desires. To do or not to do. Accrue after death means, so today what we are doing here we are actually preparing for our next life. The action of this life is the result you're going to see in your next life. We are here today because of our past life. What we have done, we got this kind of body, we are created in such an environment, we've got such a parents, such a consequences, circumstances. All these things are given according to that karma, according to the desire that we have accrued from previous birth. So far, so good. I hope all understand. Now, but those who are in renounced order of life, those who have renounced, that means they don't have desirable, undesirable, and mixed desire, they have no such result to suffer or enjoy. Okay? Okay, now let's look at this, 13 and 14. It says, Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodame sankye kritanti proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam adhisthanam tata karta karanam cha prutak vidam vividas cha prutak chista daivam chaivatra panchamam adhisthanam. Adhisthanam, right? Now let's look at this. O mighty armed Arjuna. According to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Okay? Again, there are 5 causes. The 5 things that cause for the accomplishment of all action. So now learn this from me. Number 1, the place of action. Where the action is done, the body. And by the performer. The various senses get in. The many different kinds of endeavor. We are doing endeavor so many things. And ultimately, the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. Okay. Now you look at this. Okay. So what is that? The 5 causes of action. Number 1, there's action. These are the 5 things. First is the super soul, the ultimate controller. The soul inside is the ultimate controller. Okay. Then we have the performer. Okay. Who performed that? The thing is performed by us, right? And different kinds of endeavor. We have so many kinds of endeavor. Then we have various senses that help us in endeavoring, in doing this action. And all these happen where? In a body. Place of action is the body. Okay. So in 1816, it says one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. Okay. So what we understand from here? Okay. What we understand from here is, if one thinks himself the only doer, okay, example, oh, I'm the only one who did this. I'm the only one who built this house, or I see. Actually, not considering all these 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent, Krishna says. Okay. And he cannot see things as they are. Okay. Now, let's look at 1818. In 1818, see what Krishna says. Jnanam nyayam parinyata trivida karma chodana karanam karma karteti trivida karma sangraha. So what Krishna says, knowledge, the object of the knowledge, and the knower are the 3 factors that motivate action. Okay. What is that knowledge? And what is the object of that knowledge? And the knower, and who knows the knowledge? These are the motivation factor. The senses, the work, and the doer are the different constituents of action. Okay, that means, in other words, example, I am trying to acquire knowledge. For what is that reason? What is the object of that knowledge? Objective of that knowledge? And who knows that knowledge? So this is the 3 factor to motivate action. This is what motivates action, right? Example, I want to do something. I want to attempt to do something. Okay. So what I want to do is, first I must have the knowledge. All right. And what I want to do, the object of the knowledge. And I should approach a person who can teach me the know of the knowledge. So these are the things that what they call, that create that action. If I don't have any of these 3, of course, it doesn't work, right? I want to do something, no knowledge. I want to do something, and what's the object? No object. I want to do something, who is going to teach you? No. So any of these 3, still it doesn't work. Okay. Now, the senses, the work, and the doer. the senses, all the senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. That means these are the things that cause action. So knowledge, object of knowledge and knower motivate action. The sense, work, and doer constitute of action. This is what action is all about. Okay? When you want to do something, you have to use the sense. You have to use with the work. And of course, you have to be the doer. Okay. Now, let's look at this. That 20, what they call? Text 20 and 22. Knowledge, the mode of goodness. All right. The characteristic, one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities. That means a person in the knowledge of mode of goodness, he sees every living entity, all right, is undivided in spiritual nature. So far, so good. Okay. They know that everything is by the power of Krishna. Because the consciousness is happening, everything is moving about because there's a Vishnu is inside. And the knowledge in the mode of passion. In different body, there are different type of living entity. That means, is it in different body, there's different living entity. Human different, chicken different, animal different. So you can see the guy who cooks chicken because he don't see the body of the chicken. Okay, the spiritual nature. He sees it as food. And the knowledge in the mode of ignorance is one is attached to one kind of work as all in all. Have you seen? People go to like it's quite common in Japan. They work from day to night. Do you know in Japan, when I was in Japan, I was surprised. They do not have a home. They don't have a home. They don't believe in investing in home. They live in car. All right. And you go there, you see this Watson, what they call, there's another company like 7-Eleven. There's another company called. So what they'll do, they have a big parking space. They just go there and sleep in the car. Or they have the cubicle, looks like in a mortuary, you know, that kind of drawer. Just pay money and they sleep inside. And in that place, they have all facilities, like you can bathe, you can clean yourself and everything. They go to work. The whole day they work, at night they come in. Or even in office place where they provide, they work around the clock. For them, work is God. All right? So that means there's a knowledge in ignorance. All right? Without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager. Okay. Now, let's look at karma. What is karma? In mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Karma in the mode of goodness is regulated. Perform without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results. Okay? They do everything. They are regulated. Perform without attachment. They are really not attached. Without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results. Okay? Everything is regulated. Okay? Regulation. Karma in the mode of passion. That's why in regulation, that's why we asked to follow that regulative principle and all these things. Because when we start to have regulation, we are at least acting like a human being. If we are not regulated in our life and behavior and everything, there's no difference, right? And karma in the mode of passion. Perform with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desire. Example, sometimes you see the people who are involved in MLM business or insurance business, they have to keep going, yes, I can do it. They have so much of great effort just to gratify his desire. Okay, enacted from sense of false ego. Okay, the enacted, the place that they are more into the false ego. And karma in ignorance. What does it mean? Performed in illusion. Okay, they speculate. In disregard of scriptural injunction. They don't care what the scripture says. They are without concern for future bondage. They don't care what is the bond that they're going to create in the future. Without concern of violence, distress caused to others. So this is how the government is acting now. Especially when you see in Ipoh, they are destroying all the mountains. Right? They're leveling all the mountains and to build houses and also for the cement industry. Okay, there's 100 years old monastery, the Buddhist monastery near the Sungai Siput area. They're planning, they give that permit to destroy that. Can you imagine? So they don't care. Everything is illusion. They're thinking that they're going to make Para as a 2030 as good as KL. Okay. It's getting more populated, more dense. The MRT, LRT going to come here. It's unbelievable. Okay. Huge transformation is happening here. So all these are illusion. Because they have seen with their own eyes the things happen in KL and Penang, in Johor. People are going more frustrated. Concrete jungle. And that's going to happen here. Right? It's an illusion. And disregard of scripture, okay, they don't care. Scriptural injunction, of course, zero. Without concern of future bondage, or what's going to create in the future, don't care. Without the concern of violence, okay, it's going to create so much of violence and distress to others. Okay, that's karma in these three modes of material nature. Okay, now, karya karta, work, worker. All right, what is that worker in goodness? The worker, the karta, that means the worker in the mode of goodness is perform his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego. He just perform his duty. With great determination and enthusiasm. See, when you don't have desire, hatred, and all this, I mean, if you don't have that kind of, what they call the desire, the reason. Okay, example, how? Let's say, that means you don't have ulterior motive. You're just doing your job. Okay, so these kind of people will work with full determination and enthusiasm because they got nothing to lose. When the determination and enthusiasm will start to shake, right? Say, like, for instance, if you're a contractor, a person is doing a contract job, right? They said, okay, this work can be done, okay lah, do lah. In 3 days, the work can be done. But sometimes they drag the work for 5 days because they want to earn that extra 2 days income. All right, they have some kind of ulterior motive. Okay, that means these are the people who don't have determination. That means they're not enthusiastic. You can see the way they work. All right, so it says the worker in goodness is perform his duty with association, without the association of, with great determination and enthusiasm, without wavering in success or failure. They don't care whether it's going to be successful or fail. Their job is just to perform his duty. And those karya karta, the workers in the mode of passion, is attached to work and fruits of work. They attach to work and, of course, the fruit of work. Desiring to enjoy those fruits. Okay, they work overtime, they this thing, all these things, they were expecting something. Okay, they don't do things for free. Everything is calculative. That's why they are who is greedy. Always envious. They are always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. So these are the people sometimes, I think you have seen in your corporate world, right? People sometimes will be very envious and impure. Ignorance. What are the workers in mode of ignorance? Works against the injunction of scripture. They don't care what the scripture says. Not bother about all these things. They are very materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others. Okay, now you see that what they call like the defaming and all this. So insulting others. They are lazy, always morose, and procrastinating. So keep a journal again. Keep a journal with you and check and balance. What have you done today? Did you perform your duty accordingly? Is there a moment that you became lazy? Or is there a moment that you feel morose, angry? Morose means angry. Or you procrastinate. Do later lah. What's the rush? So if you have all the things, that means you can check and balance about yourself. You can change it. You can adjust it next day. All right? So that's very important. Now, let's look at happiness. Happiness in 37, 39 is mentioned about happiness. Happiness is mode of goodness, which is the beginning. In beginning, it's just like a poison, but the end is just like a nectar. All right? Sometimes when you start to take up bhakti, when you start to accept bhakti yoga, initially it sounds very tough. Yeah, have to do all these things. So many rules and regulations, so tough. But after, when you start to be good at it, end of the day, it's just like nectar. It's so much of happiness. Okay, and this happiness that actually can awaken one to self-realization. How you are happy now, you realize this thing doesn't last long, and you start to think, okay, I want to be forever happy. What should I do? So that's when you start to study all these things and you start to awaken your self-realization. Happiness in passion, that is, which is derived from contact with sense, with their sense object. Then we derive from the contact with the sense and the object. That means now I start to see this car, Mercedes-Benz, my senses with the object. Okay, it derived from there, which appears like nectar at first, yes, but poison at the end. This is my own personal experience. I can share with you. You know, when I was during my some heydays, okay, I've got a Mercedes Benz. Such a fantastic feeling. You know, when I saw it, when I touch it, when I close the door, boop, the way it closes, all right, the sign in front, that, you know, the Mercedes sign, the feeling is unbelievable, right? So nice. The smell, the sound of the car, vroom, so nice. But when my business started to shake, all right, I couldn't pay the installment. It's a big installment. The car is not cheap, right? I couldn't pay the car. Mama, then sent to cycle and carriage. The fellow suddenly put a bomb. So your car, just a basic repair, or there is a, what they call intermediate repair. How much? 15,000. What are you going to do? I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. The casket, this, that. I said, all looks okay only word. Yeah, it's okay, but we just try to repair it in advance so that your car will never go into severe damages. I was thinking, oh my God, installment itself tough. Now service 15,000. My God. When sent to the normal service, normal format. Okay, I don't care about the whatever, you know, but I managed to sell it off. Of course, it's a loss. So, which appears to be nectar in front was so nice, but it's such a struggle and pain at the end. That's passion, happiness in passion. And how is happiness in ignorance? Which blind to self-realization, which doesn't take you to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning. From the beginning to the end, you'll be in cloud 9, hallucination, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. Right? Sometimes when you look at the drug addict, see, he looks so happy, right? Can anyone be as happy as him? This drug addict, the bum? Yeah. He's so happy. But this happy is in illusion. All right? In ignorance. Okay? So now, let's look at this understanding the Gita. Okay? We work not with our body, actually, but with our mind and intelligence. Okay? I really wanted to look into this. Where is it? Okay. Very good. Okay. We work not with our body, actually, but we work, okay, now, we work not with our body, actually, but with our mind and intelligence. Yes or not? We don't work with our body, but we work with mind and intelligence. What the intelligence, the mind says, the body acts, that's it. So, if the intelligence, so now what Prabhupada is saying, so if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged, if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in the thought, that means always thinking of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Okay? When we are always thinking about Krishna, we are always thinking about him, naturally, without you putting an effort, the senses are also engaged in his service. That means the eyes start to engage in the service, your ears start to engage, and all your senses will naturally start to engage in his service. Superficially, at least, the activities of the senses remain the same. Okay, the activities of the senses remain the same. But the consciousness is changed. Right? For me, sometimes you just think about it, but your activity of the senses remain the same. Your eyes still going to see. Your ears still going to listen. Here, your tongue still going to taste. Right? But what happened? You have already got higher taste. You have got a higher eyesight, higher hearing senses. So it's still the same. All right? But still the same. But the consciousness has changed. Okay? Where do the consciousness, like yesterday we discussed, right? The consciousness is the soul. The consciousness is changing. Our thought process is changing. When our thought process is changing, we become, but actually the sense also remain the same. The Bhagavad Gita teaches one to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. So that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches, to absorb the mind. Don't simply think, like get it absorbed. All right? and intelligence, and in the thought of mind and intelligence in the thought of Krishna. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. So just that consciousness will enable you to be transferred to the kingdom of the Lord. If the mind is engaged in Krishna service, how are we going to engage your mind? By chanting and reading. Okay? The senses are automatically engaged in his service. This is the art, and this is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Total absorption in the thought of Krishna. Okay? Any questions so far? All good? Okay. Now what do we do? We are at the half of the... Okay. Shall we take a short break? Now it's 8:26. We just take 4 minutes break and meet at 8:30. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So now we are going to the interesting part of this chapter 18. Okay. Now, purification through prescribed duties of Varnashrama. Okay. What is Varnashram? Varnashrama means that is the division of duty. Okay. First, we have Brahmana, who is in charge of education. And secondly is Kshatriya, who is the administrator. Okay. And number 3 is Vaishya, who is a business person and mercantile. And Shudra, the one who serves all that other 3 other divisions. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Now, text 41 to 44. The natural qualities under the modes. So, what is the natural qualities of Brahmana? Okay, they are, by nature, they are peaceful, self-control, austere, purity, they are pure, they are tolerant, honest, knowledgeable, and they have wisdom and religiousness. So these are the qualities of in the mode of goodness. Okay. So they are very peaceful, self-control, they are very austere. Okay. So this mode of goodness. And how about Kshatriya? Kshatriya is their natural qualities is hero. They have heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership. This is the mode of Kshatriya, is in passion. Okay. Now, when you look at Vaishya, Vaishya is farming, cow protection, and business. They are in the mode of passion and ignorance. And Shudras, they are providing labor and service to others. They are in mode of ignorance. Okay, now, see, the Brahmanas in full mode of goodness. Now, sometimes when we see in our school or during our studies, we see that fellow who are the most intelligent, the top student, they always look like nerds, right? They're so peaceful, all right? They are just so tolerant. You just make fun of them, they just can't be bothered. Just, they are this thing. Kshatriya, who is the mode of passion, because they are in administration, that's some of the attribute of administration is they must have a courage. They have to also have determination and leadership. Vaishya, the business people, they are more of passion and ignorance. What does that mean? That means they need to have a passion to move forward. Okay. Without passion, I mean, nothing works. You have to like go getter. You have to go and get something. You have to have passion. So that is the mode of passion they're talking about. Okay. Mode of passion. And sometimes they are also in ignorance. Okay. They are passion and ignorance because they cannot come to that pure passion or mode of goodness because they're always busy. They're thinking 24 hours how to make money and how to expand the business. Okay. And the Shudras, the one who serves everyone, they are in ignorance because they do not need to have any further knowledge to think about how to improve themselves. Their job is just to be the servant to all these other 3 groups. Now, so the question, what Anita Mataji asked just now. The question she asked. Okay. She said, okay, now let's look at this. Okay. CS Prabhu, yes, you raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhu. For the slide before this, under the mode of the mode of passion and ignorance, or the Vaishya, there's farming and cow protection, Prabhu. And I thought that cow protection is something sacred because it's Krishna. It represents Krishna. So, I mean, logically, it would seem that cow protection would come under something like Brahmana, something sacred. And also farming, where you work with the land, you respect the land, and so on. So, what does this, in what context is this made? No? When we say farming and cow protection is Vaishnava and is in the mode of passion and ignorance.
Okay. It's not Vaishnava, Vaishya.
Sorry, yeah, Vaishya, sorry.
That's a good question. Very good question. See, the one who cultivates the land and protects the cow is also part of mercantile family. They protect the cow. Why? By utilizing the cow. They do not kill the cow. Okay. So they take the cow and they make sure that the cow is well taken care. It takes so much of effort. Okay. And the cow products like milk, okay, they take it and they sell it. It's business. Farming, nurturing the land, culturing the land, okay, and planting all these things. They get the vegetables, and what they do with the vegetable, they sell. So that is what passion. Because in order for you to wake up early in the morning and with a chankul and to go and chankul the land, you have to have passion. Okay, the people in mode of goodness who are always in ecstasy. All right, that means they are what they call, they are austere people, and they have knowledge and wisdom. They cannot take that chankul and go and chankul the ground. And definitely Kshatriya will never do that. Okay, so only one who can do that is Vaishya. And to do that, they need to have passion, number one. And secondly, they are always engrossed in their farming. That means they don't think about elevation. They don't want to think about acquiring knowledge or become what they call, they cannot go and become like like a devotee and all these things, because they are 24 hours busy thinking about how to farm, all right, how to do the farming and how to cultivate the land. That is their consciousness. So that consciousness is in ignorance. And in order to make them move to do it is passion. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
So now, let's look at this. After listening to all this, you'll be wondering, why all this? Let's see what is 48. Krishna says, Sahajang karma kaunteya sa dosham api na tyajit. Sarvaramba hi doshena du menagmir iva vrta. Doshena, dosa. In Malay also we call dosa, right? Dosa means sin. So what Krishna says here, every endeavor is covered by some fault. Just as the fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti. Even such a work is full of fault. Okay, like all these Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all these things still under the mode of nature, still in the same plane, in the same planet, but they are in different condition. Even though they are in that condition, even there's a fault, they should not give it up. They should go on doing their job. All right. The example, what Krishna says, that just like the fire is covered by smoke, even the fire is pure, but it's still covered by smoke, there will be still a fault. Okay. So one should not give up the work born of his nature. That is nature. All right. Even if such a work is full of fault, even the work is full of fault, he has to go on doing it. Now let's see Brahma Bhuta 51, 53. All right. So that means, okay. Where is it? Okay. So now let's look at this. The person who are in Brahma Bhuta stage. Okay. That means being purified. Being purified. How? Through his intelligence, by his intelligence, and controlling the mind with determination. Okay, purified by intelligence and mind control through determination. So that means we have, okay, then what how we can purify your mind is through intelligence. All right? Being purified of intelligence. Okay? And and controlling with determination. Giving up objects of sense gratification and being freed from attachment and hatred. One who lives in secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech. Power of speech. Who is always in trance, who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is elevated to the position of self-realization. So these are the person that get elevated from the self-realization. So when we see that we have three modes of material nature, like Mataji asked just now, do we still need to stick to that mode? Once we can also, when we practice this bhakti in this way, Brahma Bhuta, be purified by the intelligence and control the mind with determination, giving up all this object of sense gratification, all these things, we go beyond these three modes of material nature. Okay, we go beyond of these three modes of material nature. But now, is all this possible? Someone raised hand. Yes, Chang Prabhu.
Oh, just a short one. Because you were saying that if this is a Brahma Bhuta stage, from my understanding, it's a Brahma Bhuta stage that we can recognize that we are the soul, not this body.
Correct. If you can recognize, then only you can practice all this. When you still have that bodily consciousness, I am this, I am that, all these things will never happen. Right? Just example, control the power of speech. Can you? When somebody come and tell something, if you still have the bodily concept, you cannot control your speech. All right? And would detach free from false ego. Okay? False strength, false pride, lust, anger, all these things, it's not possible when we're still in that, what they call, in our bodily concept. So we are beyond that. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you. Wonderful, Prabhu.
Okay. Now, let's go on. So now, now it's Krishna is explaining the Brahma Bhuta stage, where Jnana ends with Bhakti. When the Jnana, the knowledge, intelligence ends in Bhakti and the Bhakti begins in 54. Brahma Bhuta Prashannatma Nashochati Nakangshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. And here says, one who is thus transcendentally situated. And what is the transcendental? Beyond the three modes of material nature. Okay? One realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Now, can you get the picture? So all this while we are looking at all the three modes of material nature workers in that mode, and consciousness in that mode, renunciation in the three mode, knowledge in the three mode, right? Workers in three mode, all these modes we are learning, right? But now Krishna is coming to the place where Brahma Bhuta. That means where the Jnana ends. That means the knowledge, the intellect, knowledge ends, the Bhakti begins. So he says that one who is transcendentally situated, all right, who at once realizes the Supreme. At once he realizes the Supreme and becomes fully joyful. For him, he never laments, no lamentation. Polambal, in Tamil we call polambal, no polambraning, or desire to have anything. He is equally disposed. He is equal to everyone. Remember, that's why we say, they see everyone in an equal perspective. All right, every living entity in that state, once he comes to that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Remember that that steps we said. First is step 1, step 2. Then after we talk about Bhava stage and of course Prema. So here we're talking about prema, pure devotional service. We attain just by doing this. Okay, let's go on. All right. So let's look at Madhya Lila 19. Madhya Lila means the second part. What they call Chaitanya Charitamrita divided into three. Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and what is the last one?
Antim Leela, brother.
Antya Lila. Antya Lila. No, actually, I'm extremely tired today. My brain is not functioning properly. Okay. What Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. That's a final. So now, in Madhya Lila is a between. It says, 151, it says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So now let's see what in Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioning. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, right? Out of many millions of wandering entities. Out of many millions of wandering and living entities. One who is very fortunate, those who are very fortunate, gets an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master. Okay? Bona fide spiritual by the grace of Krishna. So now all of you are considered a very, very fortunate one because you're associating with a bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is said that he will be the next Siksha Guru for the next 10,000 years. All right? And he's the one who will be guiding everyone until we get our personal Guru. Okay? So the first spiritual master for every one of us is Prabhupada. So that means it's out of millions of wandering living, anyone who are very fortunate gets the opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. So my dear Prabhus and mothers, think about it. Let's reflect. There are so many millions and trillions and living entities. Imagine we talk about in germs, but varieties of germs. In bacteria, we have varieties of bacteria. And human, we got varieties of human. Like that, there's a lot of living entities scattered all over the universes. Right? Out of all these millions and millions wandering, all the one living entity just go one side, another one is go this side. Just when you look up, if you go to the high-rise building, you just look down at the road. One car will be going this side, there's another car will be going this side, another car will be going down there. Where are they going? All wandering like that. The whole universe, all the living entities are wandering here and there. Titha. Okay? But when one is very fortunate, he gets the opportunity to associate bona fide spiritual master. So in other words, from this verse, what you can understand? We are under the radar of Krishna. Krishna has selected us. We are on his radar. Okay? So then, by the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, what will happen? Such a person receives a seat of creeper of devotional service. All right? By the association. Okay? By their mercy of Krishna, Guru and Krishna, a person receives the seat. Bhakti Lata Beach. Beach means seat. Okay? Seed of creeper. Why called creeper? Not tree, not plant, creeper. Because when you see the creeper, it creeps, right? When you plant, the thing will just go around until we reach to the top. So similarly, this is the creeper. We are the creeper of Bhakti Lata. So we are just growing. That is why, after this just 17 days or so, that some of you could start chanting 16 rounds, some of you could start offering food to Krishna, some of you start to read Bhagavad Gita, like there's some devotees were sharing about, asking about this paragraph, how to understand this paragraph, how to understand these certain phrases. So that shows what? The devotees are really studying the Gita, word by word. The transformation is happening. Why? What we say something which is you never heard of. What is this got to do? Can it be something different than Think and Grow Rich or Awaken the Giant Within? All these kind of motivational books. But why this thing works? Because this kind of excitement comes from within the heart. So that means, in other words, from this, we can understand one thing. Krishna is paying attention on you. Krishna have selected you. I'm not simply blabbering. I'm not simply, here there's no such thing like salesmanship. Okay, I'm not practicing any kind of salesmanship or any kind of inspirational talk. I'm not giving any inspirational talk. I'm just telling you the fact that shows that Krishna is paying attention on us. So we should be very happy about it. Because here it says it's not easy. It's very rare opportunity that we get this kind of opportunity. All right. Now, 1855. Let's continue. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyaschasmi tattvataha tato mang tatvato nyatva vishatte tat anantaram. So what Krishna says, one can understand me as I am. All right. Krishna is telling you, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How? Only by devotional service. Okay? And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So here Krishna is telling, what happens if we transcend the three modes of material nature? That's what we're studying, right? It's quite boring, right? Or this and that, this and that. But what happens if we can transcend? So when we transcend the three modes of material nature, we become bhakta. Right? So that means one can, then what Krishna says, that you can only understand me as I am, the original personality. Okay? How? Only by devotional service. He didn't say that you can only understand me by scrutinized studies of this Veda Sastra. He didn't say that you have to go to certain universities and do up this thing. No. He just said by devotional service. Because you must understand one thing. Bhakti Yoga is Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi means intelligent. When you start simply do your job according to your nature, you start to serve Krishna according to your nature. Okay? What will happen? The Krishna will start to inspire you from within. Remember in the earlier text, I think chapter 3, we studied that. All right? What Krishna will do? Krishna will bring, the Lord will bring the torch of knowledge and remove the ignorance born out of darkness. No, remove the darkness born out of ignorance. So that means we are all in ignorance, and Krishna says he will bring the torch. Obor. He will bring that obor torch and he will enlighten you. Ding, enlighten. And how you can do it? Just perform Bhakti Yoga. So what Bhakti Yoga I'm telling? That simplest Bhakti Yoga that you can put it as your stepping stone, RDC. Read, distribute, and chant. Just these three simple acts, you will know Krishna as he is. Okay? So that means when one is in full consciousness of me. So now, one is full consciousness by devotion. So that means you can also be conscious of Krishna by such devotion. Okay? And he can enter into the kingdom of God. Okay? We do not need to think about anything else. Okay? Just like how we grew up. All right? Initially, we start to do this imaginary figure. We start to think imagination. Okay? Like Harry Potter and Superman. No, in a young time is the same. Then slowly, we go to the level of powerful diplomat and statesman. Right? Then, great social reformer. Then we go to the level of impersonal Brahman, who come in person. These are all things that we have studied, no? Sometimes when they translate that, then we start to worship Avatar of Vishnu. Then eventually we go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. We understand that. Okay? Like for instance, in 1.3.28. Okay, this is how the knowledge start to come up. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 28, what Krishna says. What he says here. Iti changsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Okay? That means he says, all the above mentioned incarnation. Because before this, they'll be mentioning about all the incarnation of Matsya avatar, from the fish avatar, one avatar, right? Like Buddha, right? Like Nabi and all the Allah and all these, all varieties of avatar, Ramachandra and all Vyasadev, all varieties of avatar. It's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But after that, this verse comes up. He says, all the above mentioned incarnation are either plenary portion or the portion of the plenary. That means the thing that come out from the plenary portion of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. All of them appear on planet wherever there is disturbance created by the atheist. So whenever the atheists or demons start to create problem, so varieties of avatar like Narasingha, Varaha, all these things will come down to protect, to curb that problem. Okay. So the Lord incarnates to protect the theist and of course to destroy the atheist. Okay. So in Bhagavatam, it's also mentioned that Krishna is the supreme original person. Okay. Now, how to understand Krishna in truth? If you want to understand Krishna, then you have to take a life of devotion. Simple as that. Under the guidance of a spiritual master. So now you study that book. Of course, there are a lot of guidance and instruction from Prabhupada. And of course, there are a lot of other devotees can give you guidance until you find your spiritual master accepting initiation and all this. So, but meanwhile, you just take a life into devotional service. You have to do that in a practical way. You can never do that in theoretical. Theoretical means like what? You see the honey bottle here? Just like licking the honey bottle. What do you gain by licking the bottle? All right? You just take the bottle and start licking. You don't get anything. All right? But when we start to practice as what the spiritual master teaches, we are actually dipping the honey and tasting the nectar. Okay? That is how we understand Krishna in truth. Okay? Now, more confidential knowledge. All this while, we have already passed through so many confidential knowledge. But here, let's see what Krishna says in 61 and 63. Ishvara sarva bhutanam kriddesherjuna tistati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra ruddani mayaya tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat parang shantim stanam prapsyasi shashvatam iti te jnanam akyatam guhya tarang maya vimischaitat asheshena Yatischaiva tata guru. All right, let's look at this word. Guhya guhyat. Guhyat is secret of all secrets. Okay? Okay. Ragasyamana ragasya. In Tamil we call it. All right? Rasya. Ragasyamana ragasya. So what in this verse says, Krishna says, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of living entity who are seated as on machine made of material energy. Can you imagine? What is the word machine? Yantra. Jantra. Okay, yantra means it's a machine. Yantra Rudani. So that means it's a machine. So imagine 5,000 years ago, Krishna was talking about the machine. Right? So he said the Supreme Lord is sitting in everyone's heart. Okay, as Paramatma is staying in everyone's heart. And he's the one directing the wandering soul. He's directing where to go and everything. Okay? Just like a person sits on a machine made of material energy. Just like, imagine like you're looking at the excavator machine. Okay, the excavator machine is happening, working, digging a land, pushing the land and everything, soil and everything. Why? Because there's someone inside directing it. All right, like that. And after that, Krishna continued, "O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly." That means completely. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and supreme and eternal abode. All right? Surrender unto him utterly. That means completely surrender to him. And with his grace, by his blessings, you will attain transcendental peace and supreme and eternal abode. And after that, this is what something very interesting Krishna says. Thus iti te jnanam akyatam guhya taram maya. I have tell you something which is more confidential than this. So thus I have explained to you, knowledge is still more confidential. And Krishna said, deliberate on this fully. And then do what you wish to do. Why Krishna said that? Don't you think that all this out of 770 plus verses, Was it not enough to convince Arjuna? Or he can, because since Arjuna has already become his disciple, he could just say, just do it. Do as I say. But why you need to say, I have explained to you the knowledge still more confidential. I've told you even more confidential part of the knowledge. So deliberate on this. Think about it fully. And then do what as you wish to do. Because Krishna do not interfere to our minute independence that given to us. We have our independence. Minute independence. And Krishna doesn't interfere with that independence. Okay. But he said, deliberate on this fully. Don't think about it. Just think that. Fully consider. Deliberate. Fully consider. Then he says, do what you wish to do. Then, after that, in 64, see what Krishna says. Sarva guya tamang guya shrinnu me paramang vacha istosi de ishtosi me dadang iti tato vakshyami te hitam. Because you're my very dear friend. Okay? I am speaking to you. Sarva guya tamam. Okay? My supreme instruction. My supreme instruction. The most confidential knowledge of all. Sarva guya. Guya means is confidential. Sarva, that means among all the confidentiality. Because you're my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, Krishna says. The most confidential knowledge of all. So now what are you going to go through? What are you going to see? You're going to see the most confidential part of this. So now Krishna says, hear this from me, for this is for your benefit. So Krishna is actually telling all of us, listen to this. But why Krishna won't reveal to us? Because Arjuna was my very dear friend. Krishna's very dear friend. So as we have become very dear friend, dear lover to Krishna, Krishna will reveal everything. He doesn't keep any secret. And what is that secret? 1865. Manmana bhava mat bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam evasyashi satyam te prati jane priyosi me. Manmana bhava mat bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam evasyashi satyam te prati jane priyosi me. What's it? Manmana. Always think of me. All right? Become my devotee. Bhava mat bhakto. Bhaktar. Mat means me. Bhakto means devotee. Become my devotee. Krishna wants you to become his devotee. Think of me. Always think of me. Number one. Number two. Become my devotee. Number three. Worship me. Number four. Offer your homage unto me. These four things Krishna wants us. Think of him. Become his devotee. Worship him. And offer our homage to him. Thus, you will come to me without fail. And Krishna says that you will come to me without fail. And that's the most interesting and most inspiring part of this is this. What he says. All right. Thus, you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Mam eva shyashi satyam te. Satyam means promise. Have you seen God giving his word? Yes. Yes, I assure you, you do this, you'll come to me. All this assurance. But this is the place where Krishna promises you this. Krishna giving a promise. Okay, mat yajiman maskuru, mam is satyam. In Tamil, this is satyam. Satyam means promise. Satyam is already. Satyam, promise. The word of truth, satyamana vaku. Satyam, promise. God promises, Krishna promises. All right, that you will come to me without fail. We will definitely go back to Krishna without fail. And Krishna says, I promise you this. Okay, because you are my very dear friend. How? Always think of me. Become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. This is what they call transcendental position, beyond the three modes of material nature. And who can achieve the three modes of material nature beyond? Anyone. Doesn't matter what is their background. They can be the lowest of the low Shudra. They can be the Chandala, dog eaters, outcast. They can be untouchable. All right? If they take up this path of bhakti by keeping their mind straight, by engaging with determination, all right, with purification ceremony, by chanting, by reading Bhagavad Gita, from the lowest point of person, he can be elevated to the point which is beyond Brahmana. That is Vaishnava. Beyond these Brahmanical qualities. When a person would like to see the caste system, these persons are beyond all the castes. Because that person is transcendentally situated. And he says, when you wash his feet and take the water and sprinkle on your head, liberation is guaranteed. Right? Doesn't matter. So, the Sanatana Dharma doesn't see the caste system. They differentiate according to your job. But it gives you opportunity to excel beyond the Lord of goodness. Okay? 66. Now, okay, now you're convinced. Yes, man manava, yes, I want to promise you this. Now Krishna gives you another very stern instruction. What is that? Sarva dharman parityaja. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yishyami ma shuchaha. Sarva dharman, all kind of dharma, religious activity. Parityaja, throw away. Ekam sharanam vraja. With that, mam ekam, mam means me. Ekam, only one. Sharanam, surrender, vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will remove all your sin. Sarva papa. Papa means pavangal. Sins. Mokshayami myasuja. Abandon all varieties of religion, Krishna says. And just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. My dear Prabhus and mothers, this is the most simplest way of achieving pure bhakti. If we religiously study and practice Bhagavad Gita. From here, when we go to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 2, also give the same stern warning. But there is even more pressure. You see, Dharma projita kaitavatra. The paramo nirmat saranam satam. Vedyam varstavam atra vastu shivadam. Okay, that means first thing is Dharma projita kaitava. Kaitava means cheating. Projita means throw. Dharma, which is religious process. So it says, throw away all the cheating religious process. And what is the cheating religious process? The cheating process that guarantees you dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is the cheating process. Any religious activities or ritual that promises you some kind of benefit, some kind of success, some kind of prosperity, throw that away. But here it says, sarva dharman, whatever your faith, whatever thinking, whatever your belief system, sarva, everything dharman, varieties of religious process, thinking system, all they throw away. In that consciousness, mam ekam sharanam vraja. So abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all. I shall. That means what? It is a very, very assuring word. You shall be protected when the king says, or you will be protected. What is the difference? The word will means can be changed. You will be protected. Or when I say you shall be protected means no one can touch you. Yes or no? So he says, I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. You might have done terrible sin. I mean, we don't know. In your previous birth of it, I mean, say the sin of aborting a child, right? Killing, eating beef, eating all kind of things. We should have done all kind of bad sins and everything. We don't know what we have done. All right? Krishna says, I will deliver you from that all sinful reaction. The sin and the reaction of the sin, I will deliver you. That means, in other words, it's guaranteed that we are not going to meet Yamaraj at last. We have been meeting Yamaraj for millions of lifetimes. Millions and trillions of life. We uncounted. From the day one we dropped down until now, we have been seeing Yamaraj every end of life. And we got slapped, we got kicked, we got baked, we got boiled, we got burnt, right? We got beaten, we got torn apart, we got, we were, we were crushed. But the problem is we cannot die. In hell, despite all the torture, you cannot die. Because you're given the body that can tolerate all that kind of pain, but of course in extreme level, but you cannot die. In this body, of course, to one level. Even the body cannot even take a shocking news. People faint. Bad news, people faint. Good news, people faint. Because the body can't take it. It only has certain capacity limitation. So now, when we just simply going to practice this, Yamaraj is out of topic. In 66, it's also mentioned in the purport. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso go pritve varanam tata atma nikshepa karpanye sadvida sharanagatihi. It says it's from Hari Bhakti Vilas. In the surrendering process, one should, what is the surrendering process? Number one, should accept things favorable. Accept things which is favorable to discharging devotional service. Number one. Number two, reject things unfavorable. Number three, always believe firmly in Lord's protection. Number four, feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Number five, have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. Number six, always feel oneself meek and humble. So these are the surrendering process. And at last, now see what Krishna says. Bhagavad Gita 68-69. Krishna says this. For one who explained, okay, there's verse 68 and 69. For one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees. Pure devotional service is guaranteed. We are all working for pure devotional service, yes or no? So what are the things? Should accept things, for reject things, this and that, okay. But now Krishna also giving a fantastic offer. For one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees. How? By distributing Bhagavad Gita. Hey, the guy I'm giving is not even a devotee. They are future devotees. You know? Who knows? Or you give a book to the devotee. Or you just distribute Bhagavad Gita. Because Prabhupada will make them devotees. So he said, for one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees, this Bhagavad Gita. Pure devotional service is guaranteed, my dear Prabhus and mothers. So we do not, when you distribute book, you still get that pure devotional service. And at the end, he will come back to me. And after that, Krishna says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. The one who distributes Bhagavad Gita, discuss Bhagavad Gita. These are the people, there's no servant. That means these are the people who are very dear to me, Krishna says. There's no servant is very dear to me, then he will there be. Okay. Then, at last, Arjuna is saying, the Arjuna is declaring it now. Arjuna vacha nastamoha smritir labda tvat prasadan maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha. Sandeha means sandegam in Tamil. Sandeha means doubt. Karishye vachanang tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. Moha, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt. Sitosmi gata sandeha. I am free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instruction. So now Arjuna is out of illusion. So when we study Bhagavad Gita very thoroughly, we also will experience the same thing, will be out of illusion. And at last, the final verse, Krishna says, I'm having a goosebump. Sanjaya uvacha yatra yogeshvara krishno yatra partha danurdara tatra shri vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama. Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna. Yogeshvara Krishna. Yoga, mystic. Ishvara, the master of mystic. Alright, wherever there is Yatra, wherever there is Krishna, the master of mystics. And wherever Yatra Partho Dhanurjaya, Partha, son of Pritha, right? Dhanur Jaya, who carries the Dhanu. Whoever, wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So, my dear Prabhus and mothers, where can you find Krishna as the master of mystic, along with Arjuna, the supreme archer, in full military uniform? Where can you find that? The only place that you can find is in Bhagavad Gita. Only in Bhagavad Gita you can find both in full military uniform with all opulence. All right? The place where Krishna shows his, what they call? What form? Universal form. He showed his mystical universal form, where Arjuna is there standing to fight and give up, then after that coming back planning a desire to fight. So only here you can find all this. So whoever owns this book, what they will certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So put a Bhagavad Gita in people's hand. At least they read or don't read. At least this auspicious thing will happen in their life. Just think about 1 or 2 people who are suffering and struggling in your family members. Whatever they touch, always bad luck. Hey, yeah, everything bad luck. Go and put a Bhagavad Gita in them. And let's see how the things start to transform. But the biggest transformation happens when we start to read and get appreciated. So that's the final verse, the 800th verse of Bhagavad Gita. So take the formula, RDC formula. It's truly extraordinary formula. Okay. That means read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, and chant Hare Krishna. By doing this, your life will be perfect. So with that, we end the session here. So we open to the questions. Any questions, any comments? All right. So if there's no question, we end the session here. Thank you so much. Today is the last day. It's my great pleasure to have all of you. You're all such a great participant. You have inspired me to go further. And thank you. That's the only word I can say. So please practice reading Bhagavad Gita thoroughly. Chant Hare Krishna. You start to see a transformation. And today is since the last day, I will add this group, that Gita Gyan Batch 1 group, into my community. I have this Hare Krishna update community. I'll add that. There'll be a lot of other updates you can see. There'll be weekly classes on Tuesday and on a Wednesday by other devotees like Parikshit Prabhu, and also this Dinesh. And also we're going to start back our Gita Gyan on the 2nd. All of you are invited. Okay, not to say you come there, no, you can still come for refreshment. There's no limitation. But just do me a favor. Please introduce this program to many people as you can. Let everybody, invite them, ask them to come over, okay, to benefit from this program of Gita Gyan. Okay, so I wish you all the best, and thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude to everyone, to all the devotees who came forward and to support this program, who have tolerated my impediment. If I've said anything wrong, if I've offended anyone, kindly forgive me. Nothing is of my own opinion. I just try to express it. Sometimes as a mortal, my expression can be wrong, or the way I deliver can be offensive. If I've offended anyone, I fall at all of your lotus feet and beg for forgiveness. Please kindly forgive me. Yes, Chang Prabhu?
Yeah, just to update this, what to share this, the last part. I think the last verse itself and the last part is a bombshell, because the victory and all these things, that is a very, very, what do you call, transcendental, and it's brought so much confidence into this Bhagavad Gita study. Thank you.
Yes.
It's a bombshell, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's a bombshell. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Keep in touch and please promote the program, the next program. So the more and more people come, there'll be a lot of people who benefit. All right. Oh, there's a message here. Thank you, Prabhu. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So with this, okay, officially, I'll declare Gita Gyan, Chapter 1, Batch 1, 2024 ends today. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
so
much,
much,
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See you again.
Hare Krishna. Good night.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.